Good evening, late evening, members of Spiritual and Cryptid Encounters. How's everybody doing late at night for those night owls that are up? Um, I'm making this video. Well, first of all, I would like to say uh, a big hello to all the people that follow me under Spiritual and Cryptid Encounters on Facebook, YouTube, and follow my TikTok under ApeCS. Uh, this evening, I want to do something different. How you doing, Chris Lee? How you doing, brother Chris Lee? I want to talk to you about the Love Foundation. This is a question that a member's been asking me for a while that they want to learn about the Love Foundation. The Love Foundation is something that I've always been talking about through whatever I've experienced in life, whether it be something paranormal, whether I'm fighting spiritually against whatever comes my way, whether it be uh, witches, warlocks, DDN, demonic figures, whatever manifests to come my way spiritually to challenge me, or through people that might have an attachment. This love foundation that I speak of, I'm going to talk about it right now. The love foundation I speak of is something that we're all born of when we come into this world. And we've all of us have had it, this love foundation, since we were born. But what happens, brothers and sisters, as we go through life, there's certain negative seeds that are planted in our path to to corrupt that love foundation that we have, that we are born of. Through the love foundation that we're born of, all these people that say have this certain abilities, that they're psychic, that they're mediums, and all this. Well, the love foundation is that. As when we were children, we have special abilities as children, that we're able to see things in spirit that nobody can see. When we're innocent, right? We're able to see things that other people cannot see. We're able to sense things that other people can see, and our love at that time is pure, right? But as we grow older, like I said, there's certain things that are placed in our path that it changes that love foundation that we have there. It's what we're born with. We come from spiritually from the heavenly kingdom. We're born with that love, which is a love foundation. But the things that are around us, whether it be man or woman, or the spiritual principalities that are around us, that their mission is to derail our path or derail our love foundation. The reason, there's a lot of people that say, well, why do these things happen? If God exists, how come he's not there? Well, he was there with us since we were born. But it's the things that are in this world, in this reality, that are set in place to disrupt the love foundation we had. And I'm more sure that all of y'all remember a point in time in your life when you were a child of this love foundation that I speak of, where you have the ability to see things that other people cannot see spiritually. When you're a child, that you're able to sense things that you're able to communicate with things that are in spirit around you because of your love that is pure. But like in life, as we grow older, we get involved with everything that's in this reality, this world, in which it makes us forget of our birthright, of where we come from. It makes us forget of that love foundation because it wants to disrupt through coming at us spiritually, because it wants to change the foundation that we have of the love foundation. Through time, we experience a lot of things. We could experience a tragic death of a loved one. We could experience somebody coming at us in a negative way, that's threatening our lives, and many other forms that this yang, or the yin, or should I say, of the negative balance of what that does spiritually. it can affect us that way. That it's as we get tested spiritually, or for example, if you join the military, in the military, it's a whole different world. It's not really about a love foundation, even though that we do have some kind of care feelings within ourselves. You have to be a certain way, or a job that you have to take. Whether you're a nurse, a doctor, they teach you for that job, but within that job, if you're not spiritual, you're just going to know about your job, and that's all you're going to know of. So we get busy in life with whatever we do in life, whatever job we take. So we get busy with all this, and we start forgetting about who we really are spiritually, which is we're created out of love. So when I talk about a love foundation, brothers, it's just basically what I'm saying is when you forgive, when you have a love foundation and you forgive anything negative that's ever happened in your past, from the beginning of when you were born, anything that's come at you in a negative way, you forgive all that with a love foundation. As you do that, since forgiveness is part of love, right? Forgiveness is part of love. Your love foundation, or should I say, where your journey started in life, it's gonna take you back there, where you first started when you entered this world, spiritually, which basically you're gonna get awakened spiritually. The gifts that were corrupted, that were being bonded or taken away from you, the Heavenly Father is going to bless them back to you, in which you're going to become, as you came into this world, a pure, heavenly love foundation, in which you're going to have everything that you lost spiritually, you're going to regain, because you found your way back to where you first started in your path in life. And basically, that's what a love foundation is, a heavenly love foundation. Through the heavenly foundation, there's many, how should I say, sky's the limit, because the Heavenly Father blesses you with his spiritual gifts of discernment, and in which you become whole again spiritually of who we are, children of the light, a heavenly through a heavenly foundation, what means through our faith and belief in Jesus Christ. We place him first in everything that we do, um, and that's why I always say always maintain a love foundation, and through that love foundation, forgiveness is a big part. The reason forgiveness is a big part of maintaining the love foundation is because when you forgive, if there's any kind of hatred or anger that you might have towards somebody, those are spiritual openings, by the way. Anger, hatred, vengeance, or spiritual openings that causes that bondage from this unseen forces, the DDN, this demonic Nephilim demons, whatever you want to call them. Once you forgive, then they have no jurisdiction over you, because you're forgiven truthfully. It's got to be done truthfully from your heart. You forgive, in which you're going to see a change, a very rapid change, because what you lost when you were a child is you're going to gain it back, which is your spiritual gifts of discernment, in which you're going to be able to see what you used to see when you were growing up, because it's a blessing, the spiritual gifts of discernment, brothers and sisters. You could say when you forgive, you become a whole new person spiritually, in which you're blessed with many spiritual gifts. And that's what I use, uh, whether I'm here among society. The Love Foundation is what I use when I go out investigating into Mother Nature, or if somebody calls me and lets me know, hey, there's some activity happening in my house. I'm attending the Love Foundation, because through that, that's how I sense whether they're spirits of people that are here on earth still, or whether it's something that's coming at me spiritually through spiritual law with the Love Foundation and spiritual discernment. They have to identify themselves to you of who they are. They have to ID themselves, and they do. They do the spiritual law because that's part of the balance, the battle between good and evil. So they have to identify themselves, whether they make a snout sound, or they talk in a different dialect, or they're making weird noises like whistle sounds or chime sounds, growlings. They have to identify themselves spiritually. It's like through the spiritual discernment, it's an automatic, because it's kind of like we can tell what's around us, because that's part of our protection. The Heavenly Father blesses you with His gifts, to be able to identify what's around you spiritually. Our senses, spiritual senses are keen, in which we're able to sense what's around us. If it's something bad, our spiritual senses is going to let us know something bad, and you're going to feel the reaction in your body of there's something negative, in which if it gets overwhelming, right, then you go into prayer. You go into prayer, whether you want to say the deliverance prayer, the Our Father, or you want to say something, just pray against what's around you, take authority over it in Jesus Christ's name. But that's what a Love Foundation is, brothers and sisters. Is you could say it's a spiritual weapon, because the Heavenly Father is not going to leave you astray. The Heavenly Father is going to be there by you, and if He has to give you He has so many abilities that is unbelievable. He'll give you the strength when you're weak to be able to overcome something. He'll spiritually bless you, showing you what you're going to face ahead of time. So when you do face whatever is coming at you, you're already prepared and know exactly what to do to overcome what's because you already know what's going on, But that's what a Love Foundation is. For those, people always ask me, what is a Love Foundation? What is a Love Foundation? A Love Foundation is taking yourself out of this reality of when we enter this world. All the obstacles that get placed in the ways to change of who we are, what's within us, is forgiven. Going back to where we started, when we were born into this world, and become who we are when we were born into this world, which is an innocent, pure, right? Innocent, pure child of God with the Love Foundation, because it's a Love Foundation that blesses us with the spiritual gifts of discernment. And I know that there's a lot of people that might have something holding them back, from their Love Foundation. Some might be on the wrong path. Some might be on the wrong path and might be doing drugs. There's some that might have issues with nationalities or with race. And we see a lot of that within our country, a division within race, within nationalities. That takes away from the Love Foundation. If you think about it, this country is not being run through a Love Foundation at all. If you see how this country is being run, it's a spiritual battle, brothers and sisters. There's evil works that are happening within our own government, and they're not running it with the Love Foundation. They change what you might think of as a spiritually heavenly Love Foundation. They changed it to the opposite, in which they switch it up. Instead of yin yang, they're going yang yin. That's what our government is doing. So don't be caught up with the politics side of it. Go into prayer and pray against those that are in power, that are going against God's standards or God's rules and commandments. Um, Maintain your love foundation. Maintain your love foundation. Forgive, so you get spiritually blessed with a spiritual gift of discernment to be able to fight spiritually, just like I am right now. Uh, I didn't go out today. We just stayed here at the house. But that's what the love foundation to me in through Jesus Christ. Through Jesus Christ, He blesses us with so many spiritual gifts that it's unbelievable, brothers and sisters. Uh, he heals us when when we are suffering, and it's basically when you have a relationship with the Heavenly Father and you have a love foundation. You gotta let Him in into your heart, into your foundation, enable for you to be healed, or for Him to free you from whatever bondage might be happening to you spiritually. But it's up to protect us, to protect our love foundation, to maintain it, to stay strong and steady with that love foundation, to know when something's, for us to understand when something's trying to affect us spiritually. We gotta know when that's happening, that we gotta take authority over it in Jesus Christ's name and send it away. We gotta protect the love foundation. We gotta be very careful, right, of what we allow in the heart into our love foundation. But you'll know because your spirit, when you have maintained a love foundation, you have the personal relationship with the Heavenly Father. It's a how should I say? It's just like first in nature. It's an automatic thing that just like when I go into the woods to investigate. There's there's a lot of spirits out there, brothers and sisters. Whether they're spirits of people of the past, native spirits, people that passed crossed over, people that died in accidents, and then you got also uh, demonic spirits, territorial spirits. You got uh, what I call the DN running loose out there. Uh, if cult-like people within cults have opened up a portal, that is shown also that I see the people that are involved in this, because it's shown to me spiritually. I can go to an area and see all this uh, because it's shown to me spiritually, so I can tell when something ain't right spiritually. But that's shown to me in this manner, where it's to protect myself, to know what's there, and if I have to, I have to, I have to help a spirit to try to cross over. But sometimes when you try to help a spirit cross over, brothers and sisters, this territorial demons, they'll come because they don't want that soul to be saved. So it becomes a spiritual battle, a spiritual battle, because they have some kind of jurisdiction, or the person didn't have a love foundation, so they're trapped in this reality, in this world spiritually, and they're trying to free themselves. They're trying to cross over, but they can't, because there's negative energies that are around, like the GDN or anything demonic, or they have jurisdiction over that soul, so they don't want to set it free. That's one of the things that I witnessed in Elms Grove. Spirits of little children, a little girl that I was always seeing. But you got to be careful also, because they can be deceit. They could be the DDN or anything demonic manifested to look that way. But I believe there was one even that freed freaked the spirits of a little boy and a little girl that had died in a car accident. And there was a lot of activity happening around me when I was praying for them. It was happening in Elms Grove at nighttime. And as I was praying for them, for their spirits to be left free, there was two teenagers that appeared, with a flashlight, and they asked me, that they've been roaming that they were roaming the area for a long time, that they wanted a way out. That's what they told me. And I said, well, there's a path right there. You have to go through that path. It'll take you the way out. So they crossed the creek and went up this path, and I could see like some lights. Well, after I was on the phone with a woman that she said that uh, she wanted to have a love foundation, that she had lost her children in a car accident, and I was praying for her children, for them to be free, to help them cross over, because she said that she felt like their spirits were still here. So I was praying for them, and next thing you know, as I'm sitting on the park bench, I see the spirit of the boy and the girl sitting beside me. That's how strong the Heavenly Love Foundation is. So as I'm praying for them to be free, I see these other two boys, or they were teenagers, and they said that they were lost, and they looked like they were alive. That they were lost. They were trying to find a way out. And I told them where to go to. Right, I told them to go to the creek. So I thought that was some real kids. Well, after a while, the lights from their flashlights dimmed. Where they went up into they went and they told me thank you, and they left the creek area, the park area. Uh, what happened was, after I finished, I told her how her children looked, and she was crying. And I asked her, how did they pass away? She said that there was two teenagers, that they were drinking, and they came and they hit her vehicle, that they were drunk driving, and that those two teenager boys died also. So basically what I'm saying is, the spirits, when I was praying for them to cross over, brothers and sisters, was her children, the boy, the girl, plus the children of the teenagers that were drinking and driving. That the surfaced up around me with a love foundation, that I was able to set 4 spirits free from being trapped spiritually here on earth. And there was numerous times with this love foundation that I was going. My love foundation would take me to certain areas, whether it was in the wood lines, whether it was on the side of the road, where something happened to somebody. Just put it this way: I've been able to help and assist spiritually people that are not here in this world, that died of unknown causes, that I was able to help find their bodies, or should I say, send people the right direction to locate them, to locate their bodies, so they will be able to be buried into holy ground. I felt numerous times a lot of people spiritually in that manner. When people talk about, did they have psychic ability, so they're clairvoyant and all this stuff, well, it's called something different, brothers and sisters. They just names that people that they say they call themselves light workers, that they do tarot cards and all this, and this, the capabilities that they do. See, when you operate with tarot cards, Ouija boards, or any other devices, they say you're talking to a spirit, where you're going the wrong ways about that, because that's actually opening a portal, right? You say you're communicating, that you're using your body as a vessel to let anything into your foundation, because that's exactly what you're doing, right? You're sensing and you're allowing whatever's around you to enter your body. And sometimes the things that are around you is not a spirit, right? So as you're believing in the practice that you're doing, you're actually allowing negativity, right? Because you allow anything to communicate with the people. So just like a Ouija board, sometimes when you think you're communicating with, when people that practice that, they use that, they think they're communicating with somebody, that they're answering the question. It's not that. It's something else. Because it's a portal, right? So your love foundation is being corrupted, in which it's not really that you have any kind of ability. It's deceiving you because it's just telling you what you want to hear. But through a love foundation, through maintaining a love foundation, you get blessed with a spiritual gift of discernment, in which that's from the Heavenly Father, in which that itself is not corrupted because it's coming directly from the Heavenly Father. And you're being protected because you're being blessed with the spiritual gift of discernment, which you don't have to do no tarot card reading. You don't have to use no Ouija board or any other form of communicating spiritually. You don't have to use any man-made devices that are corrupted through electricity, because the Heavenly Father blesses you with the spiritual gift of discernment, which is basically what I'm saying. The spiritual gifts of discernment through maintaining love foundation is the number one thing that you can utilize, that consists of everything that anybody has man-made, or anything that other people practice, other methods. This is the greatest gift of all spiritual gifts. It's a spiritual gift of discernment. And that's what you want. The only way you can obtain that, brothers and sisters. It reminds me of, I think it was one of the apostles, that there was a warlock or wizard that told him that he wanted the spiritual gifts of discernment, but that he didn't want to believe in Jesus Christ or God, that he didn't want to believe in the Heavenly Father, but he just wanted that apostle to give him the spiritual gifts of the discernment. That he'd pay him any kind of money for the spiritual gifts of discernment. And the apostle told him, well, there's no way that can happen, because the only way you can obtain the spiritual gifts of discernment is you have to believe in Jesus Christ. And anything that you have to believe in Jesus Christ, you have to allow him in your heart in order to obtain the spiritual gifts. Forgiveness is part of that. And the wizard, well, he didn't want to know the Heavenly Father because he wanted to stick to his ways of sorcery and necromancy. He never obtained the spiritual gifts. So he stayed with the spiritual gifts of discernment, brothers and sisters, is way greater than any kind of practice that anybody is involved in. Necromancy, witchcraft. The spiritual gift of discernment is from the Heavenly Father. It gives you many spiritual abilities that is amazing, and he just blesses you a daily. It's a daily blessing that is spiritual. He blesses us with. But the number one thing is you have to have faith and believe in the Heavenly Father, Jesus Christ, to be able to obtain the spiritual gifts of discernment. To be able to obtain the spiritual gifts of discernment, it's got to be out of true faith and true belief. And of course, you have people that say, well, I don't want to forgive. Well, if you never forgive, you're not going to obtain the spiritual gifts of discernment. You don't want to forgive. Well, there's openings because of unforgiveness. Those negative attachments are always going to be around you, bonding you, blocking your spiritual senses. You hear it all the time where people say, I can't see nothing, I can't sense nothing, because they have some kind of spiritual opening. And normally that spiritual opening is because of unforgiveness. They have hatred towards somebody, anger towards somebody, they don't want to forgive somebody. Well, if you don't take that step to do that, and also, you also have to ask for forgiveness for yourself. That's a big part. If you said something negative to somebody, it just happens. It happens because, when you have the spiritual opening, of unforgiveness, those things happen because the negativity that's keeping you bonded doesn't want to free you, or doesn't want you to find out who you really are, doesn't want you to obtain the spiritual gifts of discernment, doesn't want you to have a love foundation. So he's going to try his darnest, or should I say, to keep you blocked, to keep you sleeping. It doesn't want you to awaken spiritually. It's trying to keep control of you, to keep you bonded, because it wants your soul, right? It wants to continue for you to think about bad things. It wants to continue for you to have hatred towards somebody, even something that happened a long time ago. It wants to keep you that way because it doesn't want you to awaken to your spiritual blessings, for you to become whole with a love foundation. But that's basically what that is, brothers and sisters, of what I'm speaking here tonight on spiritual encrypted encounters. It's spiritual for a reason. First, so I named it spiritual encrypted encounters. I'll tell you, there's so many manifestations. This DDN tank, people think it's cryptid. It's spiritual and cryptid. They think it's cryptid, but it's really DDN, that manifests. Of course, there is animals out there that are, when they mix with another, you got these things that look like they got mange, and people call them chupacabras. There's hybrid animals that are out there that are the hybrid animals that are created through other animals mating with each other, in which I believe there is some of that. But besides that, that's all I wanted to talk about tonight, brothers and sisters. Making this short, late night feed with y'all. One more thing, a love foundation, what does it consist of? A love foundation is, you gotta have forgiveness. You gotta maintain your love you gotta maintain your love. You can have, through forgiveness, there's no anger, there's no fear, there's no hatred. Of course, it cuts any negative ties of the past. So it takes any jurisdiction from any DDN, demonic past experiences that were bad, that it was using to keep you from moving on forward, but to keep you bonded, it's going to cut off all those negative ties. That's how you stop a generational curse. Also, brothers and sisters, is this love foundation. You stop a generational curse from existing within your bloodline, because you cut all those negative ties, and you don't want to deal. You don't want part of, if somebody did something bad, you don't want a part of that, because it's within the bloodline. So you have to make a spiritual stand against it. Well, we all have our own soul, and it's up to us of where we want to be in life, or the things that we want to do. It's up to us to make that change. Of course, we're going to remember those before us, but it's up to us while we're still here alive in this world to make that change. But anyways, everybody have a beautiful, blessed evening, and God bless every single one of y'all. Peace. And remember, always maintain a love foundation.